Well,
Now you're recording. Okay. Welcome to the 2018 President's Cup press conference. Today we have Captain Tim Carson from the red team, the defending champions. And for the blue team, we have Captain Mark DeMillier. Welcome, captains, and thank you for being here. At this time, I'd like to open it up to you guys for your opening statements. Tim?
Mark, would you like to go first, or would you like me to lead?
Oh, I think defer to the champion.
Okay, very nice of you. I'm just very proud to be here. It is a very prestigious event. I have a very worthy captain on the other side. I know that he's put a lot of effort into it. The two of us have put a lot of work into making this a special event, but it hasn't been very difficult. The enthusiasm from both sides, the history of the event, and of course the facility, Kansas-Waukta, has quite a reputation as a special place, and this just kind of adds to it. I know it's going to be competitive, but there's nothing like a team event in golf, and this one should be as special as any.
Mark?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the Evening Sun and Megan specifically for being here today. I understand at the last minute that Today's Farmer had to back out and could not conduct the event. So we want to thank you for stepping up. Secondly, I want to thank Captain Carson. I mean, going in this year, I asked the guys to kind of keep dates that weren't available in October under their belt. And they did that, forcing Tim to roll the dice on the dates, and the dice came up blue. We have now many past players from championship years able to play, and I'm glad to see the blue hats out there. Also would like to thank my vice captains that stepped forward. They bring an amazing amount of energy and excitement to this, being Stu Hughes, Harry Myers, Jeff Johnson, and of course KJ. But most importantly, I want to thank the blue team. The excitement, the energy. Ever since that, was it a red hat? I thought it was a green hat, but no, you got red. Okay, that's right. Charlie wanted red so we could find him in the woods on Sunday. But anyway, these guys are excited, and can't thank them enough. The energy going back and forth. But lastly,
I thought you already did last.
No. Most important is the blue team would like to applaud the red team on introducing the first transgender player into the event this year. We 100% support that initiative, and we thank you for doing that. We're in your corner. So let the games begin. We're here. We're ready.
Okay. Mark touched on it a little bit, but this goes to both of you as well. Why do you feel the field has expanded to so many players this year?
Mark, you're on a roll. Why don't you keep going?
Well, I think the potential was always there on the blue side. You know, the ability for Tim and Red to only come up with 20, 22 players a year. I always had, 16 waiting in the wings, anxious to get in. But with that said, we can only provide enough guys to compete with what he can muster.
Mr. Carson?
I'm not sure if we're at a Trump rally, but I feel like some of these things said should be factual, so I'm gonna stick to those. The last 2 years have been a whitewash. I've had a lot of people that want to play on my team, obviously because it's fun to be with a winner. But I also, as club owner, feel like I need to try and bring as many new people to add some new life to this blue team. I'd hate to see it, be so bad that it's not even worth playing anymore. I'm hoping for a competitive match. That's all.
So Tim, we'll start with you on this question. Since the inception of the event in 2009, no team had ever won back-to-back until 2016. And now the red team is on the verge of going 4 in a row. Could this possibly be the beginning of a dynasty for your team?
I believe so. I know Mark is trying to manufacture some positive energy, which I applaud. It's the captain's job. The facts are there that this team plays well together. There's a lot of individual winners out there. They're not always team winners. Our team just has that chemistry, and it seems to happen. So until something changes, whether they can step up and play some better golf at the right time, it is and will be a dynasty.
But dynasty, no, I don't. But believe me, I understand where in Tim's mind he would think that's a dynasty. I mean, what can we say about Tim? He has already said about himself. You know, the dynasty. I can assure you. I mean, heck, look, we got a cake.
Would you like another beer?
I'm sorry. I would have a black velvet, a Manhattan.
Okay, sure.
Excuse me, Mark. Mr. Carson, you do realize it's only 11 a.m., correct?
Heather, just black velvet and ginger. Double.
Yeah, this is nothing new. This is nothing new. We see this every year. But back to the dynasty. I mean, you know, the Cape, he might as well wear a crown. That's how he sees it. But you know, nobody on the blue, I can assure you, sees it as a dynasty. And I'll tell you, there's 32 guys on that blue team that realize you don't have to wear a cape to be a hero. And come Sunday, they're going to take great pride in doing that. And sorry about the green thing. Got that confused.
You're the one that had the hat.
Wow, 4 in a row, and you still don't consider that a dynasty. That's saying something, Mr.
Well, we
Carson.
don't have 4 in a row.
Soon to be 4 in a row.
There it is, the fake news of the press that's everywhere nowadays. You know, got to deal with it.
All right. Mr. Carson, are you concerned at all about health of the Red Team members, as it seems, according to GHIN, many have not played golf since July 18th? Or do you think they can just figure out how to record a score?
I'm going to guess that Mr. Demillier is trying to feed you some questions. I'm not very pleased with that one, for sure. We go by the gin handicaps. I know that my guys posted scores. I followed up on everything. It's easy to complain when you're on a losing side.
Well, no, that's okay, Heather. I wouldn't care for a drink. So, you know, you look at the gin. I just wanted to see what we're up against. So I went through all the scores that have been posted, and it just was noticeable that no Red people had evidently been playing. The scores last recorded are all July 18th.
Next question, please.
July 18th. I was just concerned about their health.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Mark, this one's for you. Playing against the course owner, there is a lot of talk that he has used some expensive privileges to stack things in his favor. Is there any truth to that?
Well, I didn't know Susie was playing. I didn't realize that, you know. So we've really opened this up this year. I guess Susie's made some great efforts here, and am I confused? Is Tim the owner? Did I get that wrong? I guess then the answer to the question is, yeah, I could see where he would stack some things against us. Yeah, but you caught me off guard with that one. I just didn't realize that.
Mr. Carson, there is a notable absence of anyone from law enforcement this year, specifically District Attorney Mike Parisi and his assistant Joe McBride. Is that due to guilt over the past inflated handicaps of the Red Team members, or the caucus of the Red Team celebration last year?
Well, again, I think Mr. Demillier is being disingenuous and trying to help feed you some
They can't
questions.
hear you in the back. Can you talk into the mic?
I'm sorry. Obviously, Mr. Demillier has been a little rude in trying to reach out and feed you some misinformation, so we will stick with the facts. DA Joe McBride obviously is very competitive and would love to play in this, but because of other obligations, he was not able to. But he has been, he and Mike Parisi have both been solid Red Team members, and if they weren't busy with very important work that they're doing for our county and our community, then they certainly would be here.
Noble, but I just think they were concerned with the point you made, you know, that there might have been some in the past, leaving some of the people out that were strong members on the blue in the past. And again, that's a question for them. we don't want to get into the fake stuff here, you know. So that's all I had to say on that, except didn't know Mike wasn't the guy.
You can keep the microphone, because this next question is for you. Mark, it is rumored that you've been recruiting Bob Branham, this year's club championship winner and member guest Masters Flight finalist, all year long, and he's still not on your team. Is it true he's afraid to be associated with such a losing record?
Well, I don't want to put words. What was his name? Bob
Branham?
Bob Branham. I don't want to put words in Bob's mouth. I've been friends with Bob for a long time. We talked about it a little bit. If I were to guess, because again, I'm not going to put words in his mouth, he looked at the roster and he saw somewhat favored by Blue now heavily with the number of previous Players Club champs and finalists we had in there. So I think he just said, look, my 4 points, because I mean, who would dispute that he would get the 4 points? I mean, there's another guy from Oxford in the Hall of Fame. I think he from the contributors category, Scott Seiler, pretty good player. He contributed to other people's wins. So maybe Bob just said I got to take it easy. And but again, that's a question for him.
Okay. The blue team has 11 new members on the roster this year, while Captain Carson has almost 100% retention rate. Do you feel this is a blemish on your reputation, having trouble retaining players year after year?
You know, you guys in the press have always come at me with that blemish question. So, no, again, these guys they've been in the wings wanting to play. And I go back to the blemish. I brought my high school yearbook because that's so prominent in the news today. I want you to go back. You can look. I'm easy to find. Still have the same waist size, a little grayer hair. Paul Eaton, another team member, he's in that book. You'll find very easy to find. Now there's some red guys in that book. I'm going to have to guide you there. My old busmate, I think Pat Ryan's in there. But you know, in his day, Pat was a svelte guy, great. I'm sure he's going to be a great competitor, but yeah, the time takes its toll, so I'll have to point him out for you. I think Jim Weiser might be in there too. Don't look for a bald guy. You'll have to go through there. You know, I'd be glad to help you, but the blemish thing, you guys have tried to hang that on me, and I'm open up my case so you can look at it. No blemish.
No comment.
All right, Mr. Carson, this one's for you. We see multiple father-son teams on the blue team this year. Was your effort to recruit fathers and sons shunned by the red team, as we see the grandfather-grandson team of the Kellys?
Okay.
Hard to respond to no comment, but I do see some father-son teams on the blue. It isn't that great. Kids traveling in to be with their dads, to play some golf, to socialize, and the fact, you know, Grandpa was able to get a young fella here. It's amazing, absolutely amazing, and kudos to Tim for opening up that way. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Carson, we're going to stick with you. This year, Blue sees many past players returning with the change of dates. Do you have any guilt for scheduling the tournament in past years on dates you knew would not work for them?
These questions are getting tougher to even respectfully answer, but I can understand why a team in such trouble would reach so far to try and find some answer as to why their hat is not hanging on the cup. My goal is to get my team motivated to play good golf, win our matches, and put this hat on that cup next Sunday afternoon.
Well, just to diffuse the perceived animosity that might be building here, you know, again, I want to say that we cannot acknowledge enough Tim's opening up to allow that transgender player on his team. Now, whether he wants to reveal who that is today or not, but But you may do some digging and find it. If not, I'm glad to help you out there. But again, kudos.
Okay, Mr. Carson. After losing to the blue team for the third time in 2013, with then professional Charlie Wynn as captain, Mr. Wynn was relieved of his duties as professional at Canasawaka. Was that a factor in letting Mr. Wynn go?
I'm not even, I don't think I can even address that. I don't think that's, I have nothing to say.
Because it's being taped. It's an HR question. I wouldn't venture into that. I can only say that I played for Charlie, and remember his last name, Wynn, so there might have been some expectations attached with that. But I played with Charlie for 3 years. Three winning years. Marvelous captain. I hope that I can bring to this some of the expertise that he did.
Okay, Mr. Carson. As you're aware, Mark is a two-time Shenango County Amateur Champion, Canasawaka Country Club Member Guest Champion, Lakeshore Member Guest Champion, Seven Oaks Scratch Club Champion, multiple-time Monday Night Scratch League Champion. Mr. Carson, have you ever won a golf tournament?
I feel like I'm not going to say. No, I'll say I feel like I'm being attacked a little bit. That's why all these questions are directed at me, and I feel like it's gone very negative. I'll let you answer that one first, sir. I don't know if it even requires an answer. Make a comment.
Yeah, it doesn't require. Wow, I forgot I'd won all those things. And you know, just so. Heard you refer to me as Mark, and I want to thank you for taking that. I've known you since you were a little girl. In the blue team, they may find, that maybe it was a little disrespectful to not mention Captain Mark, but we've known each other a long time, and I'm glad you're comfortable in that regard. So thank you. The guys will be fine with that, and I don't know where you got all that, but boy, thanks for mentioning it.
It is an impressive record, and the reason that we're going to play golf next weekend is to get the right team color on this. I'm going to focus on the team win. If you want to look back at my personal record throughout my career, you're welcome to.
Okay, lastly, how can you explain the passion and pride exhibited by the blue team this year?
I feel like I've had enough. I'm sorry. Thank you for your time, Mark. Thank you for your time, and I wish you luck.
I don't know, maybe he ate something for breakfast, a little bound up. He's a little grumpy right now, but certainly we came here, with all good intentions. The blue, I can tell you the passion is just. But so many guys that couldn't make it in years past, now being able to do it. Guys that unfortunately have never won because it was stacked so much against them, have the chance to see their hat go up there. I've got a pen. They're going to be able to put their initials on that hat and look proudly on it for the next year. It's hard to look at it when you see that red hat up there. And I'm sorry that Tim felt like he was attacked. I thought you did a marvelous job. So thank you on behalf of the blue team.
Well, I would like to thank you for being here. I would do the same to Mr. Carson, but he stormed out of the press conference. So thank you for being here. And that's it from the press conference.
I have his number. I'll text him.
Oh,
let him know.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay.